We have a protest going on with Jimin and JK, and what's going on with that? There's a lot of drama. We also have people coming up with rumors about Jimin's new dancer in his Jimmy Fallon performance. And then we have people who are saying that Jimmy Fallon is showing support to Jimin and people are not happy about that. So hey Dumplings, it's Dave Desai. Let's get into it. If you're not aware, Jimin released his song Who, and I think a lot of people were very shocked when the label, as well as The Tonight Show, tweeted out that Jimin was performing at the talk show. A lot of people were wondering if this was going to be like a live performance, where he just comes out of the military, starts performing and singing it, or if this was going to be a pre-recorded thing. And of course, if it was a pre-recorded thing, which definitely is very shocking to say the least, as it seems like he did a lot of stuff while he was active, including recording and doing a full release of another thing, this is very exciting. And the members definitely were not kidding that when they're going to go to the military, there's a lot of stuff that is planned for a release. The most exciting thing to even see wasn't even necessarily, at least for me, seeing Jimin perform at The Tonight Show, but seeing that their team has this close relationship with The Tonight Show, so much so that The Tonight Show can even hold a music video and wait to release it at any time. People were not happy with seeing the support that Jimmy had given Jimin during this military period, and they felt like Jimmy Fallon never gave the support to JK. Now, of course, this is BS. JK was on The Tonight Show. JK did a full interview. He performed as well, and Jimmy always shows a great support and love to all of the BTS members. I've never been surprised to see or hear bad things coming from his show or coming from something that he did towards the boys. It's always such nice things. It's always beautiful sentiments, and they always have a great segment for the boys to come on. Now, of course, our boys and their English speaking ability is not very good, so for Jimmy and his team to be able to send out pre-interview questions and give them time to rehearse their answers is definitely really good. Now, I know a lot of interviews do pre-show or pre-interview questions, but probably not to the extent in which they had to do it for BTS, and it was nice for them to make that accommodation. Also, like, the team could potentially even be extremely shocked to see how strict the label is with the boys. So the fact that they're still choosing to work with the boys and not considering it to be a headache to work with, the very strict label, that means a lot to the community. A lot of Western companies just choose not to work with BTS or any K-pop star given how strict the labels are. And also to say that Jimmy Fallon has a preference towards Jimin versus JK in terms of who to promote more, I don't know if that's necessarily true. Do I think Jimmy Fallon is a big fan of Jimin? Of course, but I also think he's playing into that as a fan culture type of thing, as a way to pander towards the community rather than him being genuinely this diehard fan of Jimin. Because I believe they're friends, and you probably won't act like that to your friend because it would be creepy. However, right now we're just not seeing JK release much, so of course he's not going to be on the show. He's not going to perform. He's not going to have anything pre-recorded to even send to The Tonight Show. And since the release of the video and this performance on The Tonight Show, Jimmy's got a lot of backlash from JK supporters, and I think this is extremely interesting because when one fandom or one community sees the other member do well, they get extremely jealous and angry, and they say, well, our release or our promotion cycle wasn't as good as this one, and our favorite member deserves justice because our favorite member was screwed over. And literally every single one of the members' promotion cycles had issues. There hasn't been a single member who has had a very easy promotion cycle because that's just how it goes. I can't explain it, but that's just how life is. Not everyone can get exactly equal treatment. There's a lot of people saying that Jimin has had an easier time promoting from the get-go because the label released 50 remixes of his album and songs, which people were able to buy, and then it was able to get the song on the charts more. And they didn't do that with JK, and not only did they not do that for him, they ended up taking his name off some of the credits or replacing his name with BTS, and it was odd because a lot of people were saying, why is the whole group getting credit for just a JK song? And then also talking about how the community disrespected JK by making really bad edits of him and all that sort of stuff. Now, since the promotion of Jimin, he has apparently lost a lot of fans because people have allegedly lost respect for him. And people have lost respect for him over something that he didn't even do. It's not like he planned JK's promotion cycle. A lot of people like to complain that JK's promotion cycle wasn't fair, but you're forgetting maybe the effort that he put into and what he's done with his promotion cycle. First off, I don't know whose choice it was to go first, last, whatever it was, but JK essentially chose to be one of the last, and that was his decision that he made. He also spoke about during one of his live streams when he was just eating and chatting with the community until like wee hours in the morning, where he kind of wanted to enjoy his time off and relax. So to say that Jimin got a better promotion cycle because he has this new cycle come out and all this new album come out, and that he was able to record all that and release it, and now JK doesn't have that, it's not really something that should be in the argument. Because JK might not have that. He might not have wanted that. He literally might not have recorded multiple things because he just didn't want to take his free time away and record an album. And he just wanted to enjoy his free time. I think a lot of this argument and these fan wars between members are often about things that you have no idea about because you don't know what the members wanted. It sounded like JK didn't even really want to do his promotion cycle, and he really just wanted to relax, as it seemed like he was severely pushed into it. And I don't say this as a bad thing, but I say this as that's probably what happened because he said that he didn't want to make any songs unless it felt absolutely right to him. And he probably just wanted to go straight into the military, and then when he comes out, he'll do the music. But let's be honest here. If you had a choice between literally winning the lottery and getting $100 million like what JK has, and then choosing to continue to work, continue to tour, continue to wake up at 6 a.m. in the morning and sleep for 3 hours a night, train until you're pouring sweat, barely eat because you're promoting, and just overall super exhausted, would you choose to do that, or would you choose to just enjoy your money? I'll leave that up to you. We as people are wired to choose the lazy option, and we as people are wired to not choose the method that makes us do the most work. But it's not just all this that has gotten backlash online. Apparently Jimin is getting backlash for the performance itself that was on The Tonight Show. There was this scene in the performance in which Jimin was touching a female dancer, and they were kind of dancing together. Now, as you can imagine, this very quickly erupted into a dating rumor, even though it doesn't really make a lot of sense. When you dance, you touch each other. The song is about a girl, so there should be a girl as one of the dancers. They're touching each other. They have a really great chemistry. This is something that a lot of news sites and a lot of people didn't hesitate to talk about. There were a lot of people sending death threats to this girl because apparently this girl was touching Jimin. And there were a lot of people who were super angry over the fact that Jimin was dancing with a girl. And a lot of people were truthfully thinking that the two were dating. This is why when someone in the community makes a joke, let's say a public figure or a celebrity is taking the joke and is trying to defend themselves and kind of fighting the joke, and then the whole community says, well, it's just a joke, like, can't you take a joke? It's not a big deal. And why it's actually not a joke is because there were a lot of people that were probably joking about the alleged dating between Jimin and his backup dancer, but then now that's becoming people actually believing that they're dating, and that has led to people sending death threats to both the dancer and Jimin. So it's a joke until it becomes death threats, until addresses are getting leaked, until it becomes their entire Instagram comment section and it's just hate. Then it's like, no, I can't take a joke because now the joke is actually triggering. Some people have even said that maybe the dancer and Jimin were seen at the camp together and they were probably visiting each other, they're probably dating, and this comes from the subset of people who actually believe that they're together. And of course that's obviously not true, they're just dancers. He was just hiring her for the dance, and they did the dance, she did the art, and then they moved on. And I feel bad because a lot of these dancers, especially these dancers who come into K-pop and are just from an agency and they just audition to be like one of the backup dancers, they don't have a clue that this is the community within K-pop. They don't know that the fans are this rabid and sometimes insane. And so they come into this, they're doing their dance, they're touching Jimin multiple times because there's multiple rehearsals, and they don't realize that this is controversial. And quite frankly, it shouldn't be. Because in history, we've had art, and we've seen art that where there's two people of the opposite gender dancing with each other and touching each other, and it's kind of unfair to say that the BTS members can't create good art because their art has to be censored because their community is so sensitive to it. Let me know what you think. Make sure to check out Patreon for more videos. I'll link down below. Thanks, just leave a comment right here. Love you, bye.